Disney's Festival of the Arts has a lot of awesome things to do, but not enough time to do it all. So today I'm talking about the exclusive food, details, and experiences for the festival that are totally worth it. So you can walk out of Epcot feeling like you did the dang thing. Okay, real talk though, this festival isn't for everyone. And I say that because I want you to make the most of your time at Disney World. It is precious and a Disney day is awesome. So let's figure out if doing the festival exclusive things are even part of your Epcot plan. This festival is probably not for you if you're the type of person who is like, I am here for the rides, give me rides all day long. Or if you're like, you know what, food is just low on my priority list. I'm just fine with some chicken nuggets and fries, and that's totally good for me. That's totally great. But just know if that's you, I don't want you wasting your time on doing a ton of festival exclusive things necessarily. I'll talk more about what this festival is in general when I talk about my frequently asked questions segment towards the end of the video. But if you're someone who enjoys some really unique or interesting Disney food, you don't mind waiting in a line or spending some money on an interesting, maybe Instagrammable food, and you're really into seeing the unique entertainment that this festival offers, because that is one of the biggest things, is that this festival offers so many incredible entertainment offerings. Just want to make sure that however you do Disney, you're getting the most of your Disney day. However, if you're like, that's me, sign me up. I am here from rope drop to fireworks, and I just want to make sure that I am hitting the best food booths, getting the thing that everyone is talking about, doing the thing that is so quintessentially part of the festival. Keep on watching, because next up we're talking about one of the biggest components of this festival, and that is if food is a priority for you on your Disney trip. And let's be real, Disney food is so good and it's always a highlight of my Disney day. This festival though is just chef's kiss. It is built for you. And that's sorry, this lighting is weird. We're gonna move. Oh, there we go. So this festival has incredible food options, but they are not just tasty, they also deliver on the artistic theme of this festival by being incredibly creative and beautiful as well. However, there's over 20 food booths for this festival, not even including non-food booths that have festival exclusive items like Joffrey's coffee kiosk or the Connections Eatery. So there is a lot to navigate, and there's almost 50 brand new food items this year. So how do you even navigate what's actually going to be worth your money, worth waiting in line, because you're probably going to be waiting in line. I'll just be legit with you. So if we're going to prioritize two food booths, my picks would be France and Japan. And this is actually a safe bet for pretty much any Epcot festival. Those two food booths are always going to have at least one thing that is 100% worth the time in line, worth the money. Now for this festival specifically, two other food booths that have been a winner for years, because I have literally been coming to this festival for, oh my gosh, 8 years? No. Yeah, 8 years, wow. But consistently every single year, I always go to the deconstructed dish. And another one that has been popular that I actually do think is justified is Pop Eats. So if nothing else, make your way to one of those four booths and you will have a great foodie experience here at the Festival of the Arts. Although, like I mentioned, there are dozens of new food items. So maybe what is worth it for the festival this year? Now, I'm going to make my way around the festival and try a couple of these food items, and towards the end of the video, I'll make a list of the ones that I feel like definitely you will not regret. If you're looking for something unique that you truly will not find anywhere else and is such a highlight of this festival, and that is back here in Communicore Hall with the Once Upon a Stage celebration of Disney on Broadway. Now walking in, especially from this side, if you're coming from the very front of the park near Spaceship Earth, it actually tells a really cool story. And we know Disney is all about storytelling, and so when you walk in, it actually opens with costumes and information from Beauty and the Beast, because that was Disney's first ever Broadway show. And as you continue through the exhibit, it turns into props and costume and information about Lion King, which is Disney's second Broadway show. From there, it has some more costumes and artifacts that are actually from Broadway shows, which is so wild to think about that that's here in Florida. Now, someone who has been in entertainment most her life as a performer and also as a stage manager, so I especially loved the setup they had in there.
Lights 265.5, go. Lights 0.7, go. Lights 266, go.
Where you could actually hear what a stage manager for Beauty and the Beast would sound like as they're calling the show, meaning like directing the different lighting cues and things like that, with a video showing what the perspective would look like from backstage. I just thought that it was an incredibly immersive experience. And even if you did see, now apart from loving Disney entertainment, having a soft spot for it and being a big theater kid myself, I actually legitimately do think that it is an underrated part of the festival because it's very well curated. It's a quintessential reflection of what Festival of the Arts is all about, but it's also something that you can do at your own pace. You could do a quick walkthrough, or you could really take the time to soak up all of the information and the artistry there. That's why I think that this is definitely one of those can't miss the festival. Now, a big mistake I often see people make at the festival is not understanding exactly where the festival footprint is, meaning where exactly are all of these festival items. Now, I don't want you leaving the festival feeling like, dang, I missed out on something, get on TikTok once you get home and being like, wait, where was that food? Because maybe you didn't understand that the festival isn't just restricted to World Showcase. Now, in years past, the EPCOT Festival has very much kind of lived in the World Showcase loop, but Disney has been making a concerted effort to kind of bridge Future World, or, the World Discovery Neighborhoods area with World Showcase by incorporating more of the festival items here towards the front of the park. So there's food booths, there's entertainment. Even for this year, they have actually added some of the arts booths here by Communicore Hall. So if you just make a beeline right for World Showcase, you might be missing some of the best things. You can find Communicore Hall if you are coming in from the back of the park through World Showcase. Head towards the front of the park like you're heading to Spaceship Earth, and then make a left on this way. Now, if you're entering from the Spaceship Earth side of the park, you'll do the opposite. Head like you are walking towards World Showcase, and then you're going to want to head to the right. This is the most fun EPCOT Festival. Absolutely adore it, but there is a lot to do. And there's going to be some things that are popular or you're going to see hyped up on social media that I actually think might be worth skipping, because we can't do it all, but what we're going to do is going to be intentional and so much fun. Now, what I would recommend skipping is going to be controversial. Like, some of y'all might be like, I am so done with this video now, but I know this is a very, very popular, so a little bit of a spicy take here, but I think something that is not worth the hype: the Figment popcorn buckets. Now, you may remember a couple years ago, the Figment popcorn bucket here at Festival of the Arts had a multi-hour wait. It made national news. It was such a thing. So fortunately, Disney has learned from that and made the process much smoother. If you're interested in buying one of the popcorn buckets, you have to do so through the My Disney Experience app, like how you would place a mobile order for food. I just don't think it's worth it. It's $29. I could get a lot of festival food for that money. Plus, they're super cute, but they're also big, and to carry that around the park all day, I mean, he's a cutie for sure, but just not for me. Popularity and hype doesn't always equal payoff, and that can also be true of some of the food items. Looking at you, pickle juice milkshake. There's always going to be one food at the festival that feels like it's the most talked about thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to include it in your Disney day. If you want a quick list of which foods are pretty safe bets to try, Disney Food Blog always puts out a best of the fest food guide, usually the day of or the second day of the festival. And so just search that, Disney Food Blog, Best of the Fest, Festival of the Arts 2026, and you will see that they have made a list of a couple of food items that they think are totally worth it, and usually pretty on the money with their recommendations. Something else that is usually worth skipping for me is the food inside the Odyssey. Now, not the Odyssey itself, because you can rest from the elements outside, which today with it getting weirdly rainy and cold out of nowhere was much appreciated. And they always decorate the inside of the Odyssey for Festival of the Arts in a very cool way. They also usually will have Figment-inspired food, which is very fun. What I found about the Figment-inspired food in the years past is while it is so pretty, it's usually not the most tasty food. They look great, just if you're wanting to prioritize taste, maybe skip on over to another food booth. What I would recommend for food instead, some that is both really pretty and colorful, but also taste pretty darn good, that's over in Japan. Something else that I just personally think is worth skipping, it's a super interesting idea in bringing a very non-parks consumer item into the parks in such a unique way, but just for me and my family, it's not it. And that is the Lorcana integration that they have going on at Festival of the Arts this year. You can go around and collect different Lorcana cards, and I think some of them are unique to the festival, which if you're a collector, I could see that being very cool. Just personally, not something I'm super into. Now, scavenger hunt at the festival I can get behind. Figments Brush with the Masters, where you go around and find the hidden figments. And once you find them all and complete your map, you get a cute little redemption prize of sticker art. Looks really fun. Another scavenger hunt that I fully can support, and this might not be any surprise because the more Disney food, the better for me. This is where you go around and collect 5 of the treats that are part of the walk, and then once you have completed that by getting 5 items, it can be any 5 items from the list. You can get 5 of one if you really like it. It doesn't have to be unique items, but once you get 5 of them and the corresponding stamp in your festival passport, you get a free completer item. So one mistake I see people make at the festival is that they just stop at the nearest food booth. But what that could be doing is preventing you for a food item later in the festival area that you're going to really enjoy. Now, a way to help ensure that you are getting the most of your festival food is to get a festival passport. And then just take a few moments to go through the different food menus and just kind of scan them, read them really quickly. And what I did here is I just dog-eared the pages that had the food booths that I was interested in trying a food item on. This does not need to take a long time. It could even happen as you are waiting in line for a ride or waiting in line at one of the other food booths. This cute little dessert is supposed to be a teacup standing up because that's an Alice in Wonderland inspired food booth. The food is so creative. Trying the new food items is definitely something to add to your list, especially if you've been to Festival of the Arts before. But an underrated tip is go with some of the tried and true classics. Now, if I only had one day at EPCOT, the thing I would absolutely not skip out on, because this could set you up right for all of the other festival and EPCOT fun that you will have, and that is rope dropping. Now, especially EPCOT is important to rope drop when there's a festival, because if you only have one day and you want to see and do a lot of the awesome unique festival things, but you also want to enjoy EPCOT. Now, the good news is that a lot of the festival exclusive offerings don't even begin until the afternoon. Like the food booths don't even often open until 11, which gives you a good 2 hours at least to just do normal non-festival EPCOT things. So use that time in the morning, knock out a bunch of rides. That way when the festival does really kick into gear, you can spend your day focusing on that. Okay, cool. But like, what is the non-skippable, absolutely essential Festival of the Arts thing? That thing would actually be, and it's like super underrated, and it's actually the chalk art. Now, hear me out on this, because there are absolutely incredible things going on at the festival. There is the Disney on Broadway concert series. They have insanely talented Broadway performers from the different Disney on Broadway shows come and sing, and it is just mind-blowing how talented they are. If you can budget that into your EPCOT day, highly recommend. However, there's only 3 showings a night, and they're in the evening. Whereas the chalk art is something that you could just very quickly, very easily enjoy at any point. The talent of these chalk artists is insane. And you can really see some cool creativity as they have some that are inspired by Disney characters, inspired by other famous artists. I love that one piece of art that's inspired by Van Gogh, but has a little hidden Mickey in it, like totally speaks my Disney loving heart. You can spend as much or little time as you want looking at the art. It's something that's very accessible because it's on the main bridge into World Showcase, so you don't have to go out of your way to find it. But the absolute coolest thing, and why I really think that this is something you cannot skip, is that the artists are working in real time. So you'll often see them out there creating the chalk art right in front of everyone, and you can even talk to them and ask questions. Like I just learned that the two chalk artists here, one has been doing it for 25 years and Lee is the head chalk artist, and she's been doing it for 30 years. No wonder there's so much talent. Wow. And throughout the festival, it doesn't just stay the same pieces of art. It actually rotates and they create new pieces of art. So if you come back to the festival multiple times, or even if you've been here before, you can get a little surprise often. And that's part of what makes this festival unforgettable, is seeing the art being created in real time. Something else I do really enjoy is the art in motion experience over at Communicore Plaza stage, but that only happens twice a day, and like earlier when it was insanely raining, that first show got canceled. So it's a little bit harder to squeeze into your EPCOT day. You can definitely make it a priority and it's really fun, but chalk art, very easy to add in, and a memory that you can make at this festival. And I'm all about making Disney memories because that's ultimately what it's about. And I think that's the coolest thing about this festival, is that there is amazing artwork all around, but in so many instances, you can talk to the artists themselves. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. One thing I know about me is I adore Hollywood Studios. So as I was going around the different booths, this one immediately stuck out to me. And what is so cool with getting to meet the artist is I was able to ask him like what inspired the design for this picture. And he said that he actually wanted to focus a lot on like the buildings and the classic things that, as this park is in a lot of flux, the things that are still going to be iconic, and getting to hear the artist's story behind that just made the whole experience and the whole picture even more special. I think getting a picture, and especially if you're able to meet the artist and have them sign it, is such a really special exclusive thing of this festival. Also because having a picture is a very tangible reminder of the memories you had from this festival. You can just look at that picture and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I had so much fun that day, and it just instantly can transport you back to Disney. And if you look in your festival passport, there's a QR code that you can scan in your festival passport that'll tell you which artists are going to be at their art booth on which day. All right, let's talk about the Disney World food you should consider adding to your EPCOT Festival of the Arts Day. Starting with the deconstructed dish, because this is one of those booths that people recognize. It's been around for years, and you might immediately wonder, should I try this again or try something different? So I started with the deconstructed BLT, which again has been around for a couple of years. And this year it was solid. Definitely tasty, a little salty, didn't super love the pork belly, but I think that just might be a me thing. But the real takeaway at this booth is I wanted to try one of the new items, and super glad I did. The deconstructed strawberry basil mojito, non-alcoholic version, was such a fun surprise. It's creative, it's pretty, it's fun, a little interactive, and it's, you know, something that's like not just a standard EPCOT drink, and would absolutely consider this one. Next up is Pop Eats, specifically the tomato soup and the croque monsieur inspired grilled cheese. That grilled cheese flavor is a new one this year, but one of my favorite things about this booth is the presentation. The tomato soup comes out in a pop art style can, which feels super on brand for this festival, which was all about the blend between culinary arts and visual arts. I tried one of the new food booths this year because I like to do a combination of returning favorites and new ones. This was fictional victuals. I went with the tea treat, super fun, really cute, and what I appreciated most is that it wasn't overly sweet. Sometimes Disney desserts can be like super sweet, so if you're looking for something a little bit more balanced, this is a good pick, which will also help you save room for more sweet trees like this next one I got. Full transparency, I grabbed this one for the looks. It's very much one of those Festival of the Arts treats that feels designed for social media. I went in expecting it to be like cute and just maybe forgettable or not as awesome taste-wise, but the Minnie Mouse Cake Pop at Swirled Showcase. And while I was waiting to get the cake pop, the description of it had me a little skeptical, and I was fully prepared to say like, this is cute, and that's kind of it. But then I actually tried it. This was hands down the most surprising item I had at the festival this year. Next, I headed over to a booth that I always come back to. Now, this one isn't going to look super aesthetic, and it's a little on the pricier side, but every single time I get it, I'm reminded why I keep coming back. Over at the Canada booth, the wild mushroom risotto is just really solid. Taste-wise, absolutely worth the money. I didn't end up eating at the France booth this year, but I did, however, make it to one of my other consistent EPCOT Festival go-tos, which is Japan. First up was the returning favorite, the sushi donut. It's donut-shaped rice topped with sushi and just really visually appealing. Like, I love the orange and red of the fish with like the green around it. I also tried something new. That's the Tokyo Kawaii roll, wrapped in multicolored sushi rice topped with tempura shrimp. Looks incredible, but more importantly, it tasted good. Between those two, Japan was another solid winner for me this year. I know there's still a lot to figure out with this festival, so in my next video, I'm answering the most common Festival of the Arts questions I see online and sharing even more food and tips to help you plan it right.